The victim could not tell police what happened because she was unconscious. Freeman was arrested for felony domestic assault and battery. Green Country voices its opposition to military action in Syria. A woman owes her quality of life to people in Green Country who she's never even met. Elba Delgado was on the verge of having her leg amputated earlier this year from an injury that most Americans would fully recover from. The making. It begins with an armed robbery at a Nashville market later. Well, summer is coming to an end, but the heat.
It was really hot. Speaking of today was also National Grandparents' Day.
Hey!
And my Nana from Maryland was being applied with temperatures, spread it out a little bit, but we nonetheless.
Special place in my heart. So before I start crying, I couldn't leave all of you without one more big fishing adventure.
Pretty fancy, especially when the other team only had 65.
Yeah, they only needed 14 more to beat the other team.
If only they could take some of those and move them to all those other games this year.
Kind of disperse them.
Yeah.
Sports Illustrated Day 2 tops the Napa Sports Desk tonight. As we've reported throughout the newscast, Sports Illustrated continued its series on Oklahoma State today by reporting academic allegations against the Cowboys. Piece by piece, we'll keep following the OSU reports and see what else comes out.
Okay, thank you, Charlie.
Final look at the weather?
Yes, another warm day tomorrow. And then after that, things can start trending down, so it'll be cooling off a little bit at least, a little closer to normal.
A suspect wanted on several outstanding drug trafficking warrants. A Tulsa man flew halfway around the world to help some Syrian refugees. It's a refugee story that we really haven't heard. A Marine veteran is on a special mission to remember the firefighters who were killed on September 11th.
Lance Robinson started today on a 343-mile walk of honor. An Oklahoman is finally able to return home. He was in another country and wasn't allowed to leave until he paid a very large doctor's bill. How the kindness of strangers made a difference.
Neighbors jump into action after a balcony catches fire at a Tulsa apartment complex. Arrested after a short chase in Tulsa today.
With each step and mile, a Marine veteran is honoring the 343 firefighters killed on 9/11. We're there.
Going through a controversial custody fight. An Oklahoma County judge has ruled a Broken Arrow baby is overcoming some obstacles, being born with two extremely rare conditions. Oscar Pisoni Torres is missing half his leg, but he's determined to walk anyway. News on 6 reporter.
And
Absolutely.
86, 86, 88, 86.
It sounds a little better than the 96.
I don't know what it is. Yeah, something about it makes it sound better anyway.
It sure does. Yeah.
Thanks,
Thank you, sir.
That's all the time we have for news. Thank you so much for joining us. Have a great evening. We'll have much more on the OSU situation coming up at 6. Good night.
Reports is called The Dirty Game. And the reporters say their investigation reveals the great lengths OSU went to become a winning program.
As you might imagine, the accusations in the articles are rocking not only OSU.
Another shocking allegation in the article is that boosters were paying football players for good performances. 6 Investigates' Jennifer Lauren has more on.
Sports Illustrated also names several boosters whom the magazine claims paid OSU players hundreds, even thousands of dollars. We'll hear the Good Samaritan story tonight on our newscasts at 9 and 10. Now, the Honor Walk is just one of dozens that Robinson has made since 2010. He hopes to walk through every state in the continental United States.
It's always fun to dream. And this month, those dreams can also help feed hungry children. Photojournalist Michael Woods and I got an early look. Well, 343 miles, that's the distance a Marine veteran plans to walk to honor firefighters killed on 9/11.
The campaign for the mayor's office in Tulsa has, at least on the radio, gone negative.
Both candidates have ads going after each other. Emery Bryan has.
Bowie was an offensive lineman out of Broken Arrow, recruited by Bob Simmons' staff, and he played at OSU to prepare for the Sooners.
Aha. Just the way they wanted it to.
All right, thank you, John. Good evening. It is day 1 of the fallout from a Sports Illustrated
For the sole purpose of giving them passing grades.
Some of the athletes are also said to have had their schoolwork done for them.
Now, when most of those violations were said to be happening, Les Miles was in charge of the program. John has his response to the accusations coming up in sports.
Until the medical examiner confirms the identity of the remains, police are still treating this as a missing persons case. As the cause of a Green Country man's death, investigators were baffled back in February when
In a statement, Icon's attorney said it's shutting down due to the cost of providing service. The feds
have not responded, and I specifically asked them for a statement today, and they offered no comment.
Cowboys have also chimed in as well. Aso Poggi, a former QB in the early 2000s, also chimed in and said his words were misconstrued as well. An entire webpage to respond to all these Sports Illustrated issues. So
yeah,
they're coming out with that, and that's beneficial not only to us, but to the other people who stay informed.
On 6 anchor Lacey Lauer reached out to him and has his story tonight. Lacey.
Jennifer, and take a look at this picture right here. This is the aftermath of that crash. You can see a ski boat up inside of a docked houseboat.
At the weather.
Hello.
Pretty warm out there today, but not too bad.
It's convertible weather out there today, and going into maybe the need for an umbrella. Well, we are well into September, but it might as well be late July given our weather over the weekend. 2 days in a row have been hitting 99 degrees in Tulsa, and it's thanks.
The jet stream's helping bring in more chances of showers and storms. Details at 10.
Should go with. You have to keep in mind we have a photographer and a live truck operator, and then myself.
Rain.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, it's trending that way.
Okay.
We have a fun story with you and Lacey
Yes,
later.
indeed.
Right?
But that means I have to leave the great folks here at Channel 6 and all of you wonderful viewers. I just want to thank you for letting me into your hearts the last 3 years.
Well, Sports Illustrated expected to release part 2 of its investigation into OSU later this morning.
Now, this morning's report is going to focus on academic fraud allegations.
What about the weekend? More in a couple of minutes.
All right, Alan, thank you. Let's begin with this.
Tell me some facts, my friend.
Cheese. When do you think it was added to the burger? If you didn't read the prompt.
20 minutes ago?
Well, this morning we are learning about a bug I've never heard of before. Larry Nunley has brought in a vinegaroon from the Tulsa Zoo. I'm going to hold it real still.
I never thought I would ever say this, but I'm looking forward to Monday.
Hey, that's going to be a great thing to look forward to then.
Right, because it's cooler. Okay, when we come back, when a gunman opened fire at the Washington Navy Yard Monday, workers there were thrown into a state of panic. But amid terror stories, and with us this time is Helen. She is adorable.
That there's anything other than what she experiences.
I asked why her name was Helen, but she does hear well.
Yes, she does.
If you want to adopt gorgeous Helen, call ARF there.
A lot of these guys, with the allergies and the ragweed out there, a lot of the wind is blowing into the eyes and it causes a lot of tearing.
Running high heels. And what do you think the world's smallest dog is? Hey, welcome to the Cooking Corner. Mike Bausch from Mandolini's is here. And
roasted garlic. Garlic has a bite, and it's an aggressive bite. But once it's roasted, it does not have that bite. It is not a big to-do. This is not hard. This is not anything that can't be done at home. Okay. We take garlic cloves. Garlic cloves in a pan, virgin olive oil. We then put that.
Okay, I'm just gonna pack this up to go. That's awesome. All right, if you would like a copy of today's recipe, here's how to get it. Just visit the recipe section of our website.